Hi everyone, it's Karen here. Welcome to another video with me and welcome to this extravaganza weekend. So much fun. I hope you are enjoying it. So here I've got something a little bit different. We've got this lovely set of 3 tags here, which I have used an assortment of this lovely new collection of stamps. So if we start at the top, I've got this thread and cord, which I've used, actually the set that I've used is this one called Earth Green. But I just wanted to show you some of the other scrumptious colours that they can find them on the Dreamcatcher section of the website. Just look at them. And of course, I had to have them all because they are so delicious. So anyway, that's the tassels for the top of the tag. And then I've used one of the large hinges. Again, you can find those in the back of the website. I've got an assortment of smoothies here to apply my colours, which were Fossilized Amber, Cracked Pistachio, Vintage Photo and Frayed Burlap. These are a lovely couple of set of browns. That gives us that really aged look across the tags. Then we've got Festive Berries and Black Soot. So Festive Berries and Black Soot I've applied around the edge of the tags. For my heart and wings, I have used an embossing pad and black embossing powder. And then for all the stamping, I've got VersaFine Clear Acorn. And then 2 of the brand new stencils, which are Waffle and Honeycomb. They're in the background there, and they are delicious. And then the stamps. Oh my goodness, I hope you are loving these new stamps. So I've got Texture Stamp 1 and 3. I've got the Steampunk Script, which you can see in the background here. I've got Cogs set 2 and 3, and then I've got the numbers set. And then, of course, the focal point here is the small heart and the large wings. So I hope you enjoy this project. We will get started. So the first thing that we're going to do to get started is decorate our tags. The tag sizes that I'm using, I've got 18 centimetres by 7.5 centimetres. That's the largest one. I am using cream card for this, but white will work just as well. Then the middle size tag is going to be 11 centimetres long and 6 centimetres wide. And then the smallest one is 9.5 centimetres long and 5 centimetres wide. So you can see how they work really nicely together. And then I just snipped the edges to create the slant. Now, what you want it to do is, whether you're using a clip or a pin, you just want it to sit nicely, making sure that you've got a bit of gap between each of the tags so that you can see the lovely texture that you're going to put on each one. Okay, the colours that we're going to start with are our Fossilized Amber, Frayed Burlap, Vintage Photo and Cracked Pistachio. The Cracked Pistachio just gives this lovely sort of greeny look through the browns and the yellows. And I am applying this colour with my smoothies. So I'm going to take them first, the largest one, and I'm just going to apply a bit of Frayed Burlap and Vintage Photo in and around the tag. And as always, I use a circular motion. That way you don't get any large blobs of colour. So just like that. Now this one, you cannot go wrong because there's no, well, you just can't go wrong. So I'm just going to put some yellow through this. That's Fossilized Amber. You can do all 3 of your tags at the same time if you wish, but I quite like just doing it individually. That way because you know what? We do this for fun, don't we? So that way you can just enjoy the process. So you can see how these lovely colours are coming through here. And I'm just going over the vintage photo, fossilised amber. I absolutely love that to start with. Then I'm going to take the middle tag and do something pretty similar, although obviously you're going to want it to look a bit different. So this one I might put a bit more green on it, more yellow. But I do want the brown to shine through more on this one. So yeah, look at that. Isn't that fun? So put next to each other, look, I just applied a bit more green onto the larger tag. So whichever look you prefer. This one, I'm going to keep it to just the browns and the yellow to give it that sort of really aged look. So there we have the 3 tags together with all a slightly different look. Just going to clean off my mat. I'm going to start with the smallest tag, and onto that I am going to put my steampunk script, and for that I'm going to use my Acorn in VersaFine Clair, and I'm going to do it 2nd generation. I'm just going to stamp it all over my tag like that. And then I might put a tiny bit of this. So now you can see, so much fun because there's no right or wrong answer here. I'm going to take my texture 1 and texture 3. Again, using my Acorn here, 2nd generation. 2nd generation means that I'm just going to take that I've stamped, stamp it off, and then I'm actually going to stamp it onto my tag. So I haven't re-inked this, so I use that 3 or 4 times there, because it doesn't really matter. What we're trying to achieve is this aged look. Fab. And then I'm going to go in with my other texture stamp, which looks a bit like a honeycomb, which is a fab. And do the same. Now I know we're going to cover up the middle part of that tag, but it's still quite fun to stamp anyway. Now, check these fabulous stencils. We've got a honeycomb stencil. So I'm just going to pop that down. I am going to use my stencil. No, I don't need to do that. I'm just going to take my blending sponge. I didn't re-ink it. So you can see how this lovely, varied, textured tag is coming together. This is so much fun, so much fun. So I went a bit harder on that one. So you can see what I'm trying to do here is a greener look on the larger tag and then a more browny, aged look on the other two. And we're going to use another stencil because why not? I'm going to pick up my cracked pistachio for this one. And of course you can put the second stencil on top of the first stencil because that just makes it look like you've got tons and tons of layers here. I might put a tiny bit of this green through because it does look very brown, this one. But remembering we're going to have our lovely heart and wings over the top of this, so oh, look at that. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? So now we're going to bring in some stamping. We've got our cogs and our little numbers. So I'm going to put my numbers. Let's start with the numbers. And I want the numbers on the front tag there. And I actually like to stamp these individually. No, it's not going to go on the front tag. I'm going to put that on this one, the second tag, so it's sort of peeping through. And I did that second generation as well, because what we're trying to do with these tags is create a really aged look. There we go. Fantastic. And then we're going to put some of our fun little cogs. Again, second generation on this one. Lovely. You could put some around the top as well. So there are absolutely no rules here. Such a lovely variety of cogs in this Ministry of Time release. How fab. I'm going to put a couple of these because I love them. Well, I love them all. So I've done this one on the front tag, first generation. Down there. Look at that. I love it. So I hope you've enjoyed the extravaganza. It's been such a lot of fun. If you haven't followed me on YouTube, I'd love to see you there too, because I've produced regular videos. Just as fun. Oh, look. I'm so happy with those. Now, you just are going to play until you find something that you really like. Now, these do look very brown compared to the green, but we'll just see once I've put my edges, we'll see what it looks like there. So I'm now just going to take each of my tags here, got cogs on the brain, and I'm just going to go around the edge and just darken the edges here, just like this with my smoothie. I'm using Vintage Photo for this one. So just get a bit more of a definition around the edge there. And for this one, I might put a bit of cracked pistachio into it. And in fact, why not? We'll have a double edge. So for this larger one, I'm just going to go around it in cracked pistachio, and then I'm going to darken it with a bit of black soot. That way you get a really defined edge for this largest tag. Oh, I love it. Look at that. Just on the edge. Can you see? So you can still see that cracked pistachio through it, because the cracked pistachio extends more into the card. Look at that. Look at that. I love it. Okay, so now we're just going to pop these together and see what we think. I rather quite like that, because our little hinge is going to go there. I really rather like it. Great. So now we're going to put this fabulous piece together. So I've punched 2 reinforcers here in white, and then using my smoothie with my vintage photo, I just squelched it round. So what we're going to do is one's going to go on the front and one's going to go on this one. Okay, so to do that, I'm just going to glue it down with a bit of glue. So we've just got a tiny bit of glue on our mat, and I'm going to take my little reinforced circles and I'm just going to dip them into the glue and onto the front and the smallest and the largest tag. Just like that. Now the glue does dry clear, so don't worry if a bit of it squelches out from underneath your little circle. Lovely. Now for our heart, what I did was I took the smallest heart and I took the largest angel wings. Using my Versamark embossing pad and my black embossing powder, I stamped my little heart and my wings and I cut them out. Now, I know you've seen me emboss 1,000 times, but if you've missed it, please check out one of my other videos. And then I just fussy cut round the edge. Now, it doesn't matter if you're cutting, particularly on the wings. It's a bit tricky here. Don't worry if it's not perfect, because what we're going to do is we're going to take our smoothie with our black soot and gently go around the edge. So any of that white that's left will be gone. And then I'm going to take Festive Berries with my red coloured smoothie, and I'm just going to pounce this all over my angel wings. Look at that. So it doesn't actually matter that your cutting wasn't perfect. Well, that my cutting wasn't perfect, more to the point. And then the same for the heart. Just this sort of pounce and squish motion. There we go. Look at that. How easy was that, right? To apply colour to that heart. Okay. Now I'm going to take some of my strands of thread, and I just picked some that matched the colourways of my tags. And I'm just going to thread this through the largest tag and pull it all through. So you'll see what I've got here is a mixture of colours and a mixture of thicknesses as well. Now that's a bit long, so I'm just going to... I have actually found that an ideal length is about 20 odd centimetres, 25 centimetres, but I must have winged that and cut it a bit longer. Right, and now we're going to pop... Actually, before we put that one together, we'll put the heart on the front tag, like that. And like that. I love it. So for this, we're just going to put a bit of glue, just this front part of the wings. I'm just going to pop it down. And as I said before, because this glue dries clear, it doesn't matter if it squelches out from underneath it. Yep, just making sure that I've got the right amount. So you want them sort of looking like that. They're coming together in the middle, and our little heart is going to go there. Now you could put your heart raised on sticky fixers. Shall we do that? No, I actually quite like the fact that it will just be stuck flat onto the tag. We've got enough texture happening in and around the rest of the piece. There we go. Look at that. I'm so happy with that. I'm going to take my white pen and I'm just going to do a couple of dots here and there on our heart. Then I'm going to clip it together with my little clip, and that is going to sit onto our big tag like that. Then I've got a piece of gold twine. If you've got string, that will work. I'm going to thread that through like that, and then just sort of drape it. That's when you should have put this on before you stuck your tag down. But that's the good thing about the glue, gives you a minute. And I had a minute. There we are. Oh, I really rather like the way that's sort of just folding in and around my tag. There we go. So I'm going to put a bit of glue on the edge of my twine, so that when I pop it into here, it adheres to the card. And then last but not least, I'm just going to put a tiny bit of glue at the top of this tag. So that will perhaps not such a tiny bit of glue, but a bit of glue. Oh, there you have it. So there we have our tag. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being here, and I will be back again very soon. Bye for now.